What is going on, Multiversers? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another episode of Tony Tweeted What? If you haven't seen it before, don't worry. This is also known as the Multiversus News Roundup, so any little news stories from the past 7 days, I'll put into one little convenient video for you guys. So we got 7 different topics. That is right, 7 different topics this week, so let's not waste any more time and jump straight into the first one, which is all about Morty, and I guess he's getting a little bit of a buff, I'm assuming. Well, here's the tweet. Tony, I think you should buff Morty. He does too little damage and has too little knockback. He is overall a really fun character, but moves that feel like they should do more damage or have more knockback, they just don't, and they usually end up, it makes the game feel like a lot less fun because you can't rack up the damage. As I probably have become a Morty main since he's come out a week ago, and I kind of agree with some of this. Maybe the forward air, the axe, maybe hammer Morty, maybe his up air, maybe those could use a little bit more damage or knockback. So I do agree with some of these. Hopefully something gets increased nonetheless. But Tony's response is, we're looking at a few improvements, so that would imply buffs, right? But it'll be a part of the next patch. Now, I think there was a patch that dropped today, or that will drop today, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I think there is, but maybe that's a part of this patch. So, interestingly enough, it looks like Morty may be getting some buffs for anybody that is still trying to figure out how to play as Morty. Topic number 2, we're talking about premium battle pass items here. Specifically, what if, can some of them be unlocked later on with Gleamium, right? Premium battle pass items. You know, the battle pass we have to pay for to get stuff? Yeah, that stuff. So this is the question, right? Tony, are there any plans on allowing premium battle pass unlockables to be purchased with Gleamium? As a busy person, I find it hard to unlock them all. It'd be easier to pay for them. I mean, that doesn't really harm nobody, right? Just an option to buy stuff later down the road. You know, people get busy. It's very understandable. So, and plus it's just cosmetics. Doesn't change the game. So who cares if somebody wants to drop $20 on a character skin? Like, it don't phase me, none, right? So, you know, that's the question. But what's the answer? Tony does tell us, yes, we will give the option in the future. So that's kind of cool. So if you didn't buy the preseason battle pass, or if you didn't buy season 1 battle pass, don't worry too much if there's something in there that you want. There's a good chance that this will probably pop up in the in-game store once that launches. So yeah, look out for that in the near future. Well, maybe near future, maybe distant future. I'm not too sure. I'm assuming that we'll get into, I don't think the in-game item store is coming to like season 2, and season 2 won't start till like mid-November. So that's just my opinion, but we'll end up waiting to see how that goes. But yeah, premium battle pass items can be purchased with Gleamium at some point in the future. Topic number 3, we're talking about the stage, the Tree Fort here. Could it be getting a rework? So here's an interesting tweet that went out a few days ago, and it says, so now that we've had Multiversus in open beta for a month, I've seen that Tree Fort seems to be the most banned map in 2v2s right now. That's interesting because, you know, Scooby Manch is still out there, but nonetheless, we will continue with the tweet. I've made some concepts of what the map could look like if you could vote on them in this poll below, and if I remember, I'll leave the link to this specific tweet. So if you have Twitter and you want to go vote on any of these, go for it. But it's kind of cool. 4 different ideas for a potential Tree Fort stage rework. So again, I say potential. This is not guaranteed to happen, but Tony did chime in here a little bit, and he does say that he'll share this with the team. So it is interesting. I mean, I'm sure that him and his team are aware of specific stats for tournaments. Like they said in the first tweet with the Tree Fort being like the most banned stage apparently. So in 2v2s, that's very interesting. Maybe Tony and his team want to take a quick look at Tree Fort and go, all right, maybe a couple of rearrangements of some platforms or the tree bouncing, whatever it might be. Maybe just a little bit changes. You know, it could go a long way, and maybe people really start loving Tree Forts and 2v2s again. So this is just an interesting tweet that I thought we should include for this week's news roundup. Topic number 4, we're talking about server improvements. Okay, my ears are perked up a little bit here. I'm sure we've all had some sort of issues with the servers, whether it's a little lag spike or maybe games are unplayable, whatever it might be. Server improvements are always welcomed, right? So the tweet here is from Bugsy, and he is one of Multiversus. He's a pro player, so I believe he is at least. He's entered in a few big tournaments, but so he tweets out at Tony, "Hey Tony, is Wi-Fi filter a thing? Like, is it an option? Is it possible to choose not to play with Wi-Fi players or anyone that knows about this stuff?" That's actually an interesting thing. I know some games, I believe there's many games that have this sort of feature, or something like this feature, like you can wait for better connections. You might have to wait longer in the queue to play a game, but if you want smoother connections, maybe this is an option in the future. And Tony does tell us, or at least he responds to Bugs with this: "Maybe we can give you a setting that allows you to opt into waiting longer for better connection. We're doing some improvements that should continue to help things as well." So it does look like server improvements are a thing, and there could be an option down the road to, wait longer for better connection. So that'd be an interesting thing. I'm curious to see how many people would actually opt into that. I know there's a lot of people that just be like, "Nah, just jump in, let me play." But then there are people that would be grinding, once ranked mode comes out, especially, they're like, "No, I need a much smoother experience, so I'll wait, whatever the extra time is to make sure I get a much more smooth match." So, it's an interesting option that they might end up putting in the game at some point. Topic number 5, free-for-all. We'll talk about this one again. Was brought up. We've talked about this many times. But specifically from this tweet here, "Tony, why can't 3 players play free-for-all together on local?" I mean, it's a good question, right? It's a platform fighter. You can have 4 fighters at a time. So why can't we have 3 players play, right? Well, Tony does tell us it's coming in the future. It's just currently not supported. So I guess it makes sense if it's not a feature in the game currently, and Multiversus is really geared more towards an online type of game anyway. So I can understand why it's not in, but at the same time, it is a platform fighter. So maybe especially for local play, I guess that, it's kind of hit or miss a little bit. If you're a hardcore platform fighter, you're going to say probably, yeah, this should just be like a default option in the game. It should just have it, but it is what it is. It is coming in the future nonetheless. 3-player free-for-alls can happen, so that's good news. Topic number 6, more new characters, but when? Or at least character. So that's basically what the tweet is, right? Here it is. "Hi, Tony. When will we be getting another character?" I mean, he tweeted this 5 days after Morty came out. Like, okay, you're already ready to move on to the next character. Maybe he's a big Rick fan. Maybe he's a big Gizmo Stripe fan. Black Adam fan. I don't know. But it's a tweet nonetheless, and Tony did reply to it, and he does tell us soon. That's the tweet. There it is. Soon. That's the tweet. End of story. So currently, I don't want to say it's a pattern because we have very, very little proof, but we got 1 character in July with LeBron James, and now we got 1 character in August with Morty. Could we be looking at a 1 character per month release cycle? Maybe. Again, I don't want to say it's a pattern because it's way too soon to, try to think that far ahead. It could end up happening. It could, but I just don't want to say it is. But according to Tony, we're getting a new character soon. I don't know what soon is, but soon, maybe September. And the last topic of the video is basically the next patch, I think again is coming today, is going to be a massive patch. So Tony just kind of tells us a little bit about what's coming a little bit here, where he says directional attacks and specials are mappable on keyboard and controller in the next patch. Bro, that's actually pretty big. That's actually pretty big change or addition to the game. That could be a game changer. That could really be a game changer, but it's cool nonetheless. It's coming in the next patch, and then he finishes off by saying it's turning into a massive patch. I can't wait to see it whenever there's a chance the patch notes already dropped and I've already seen them. But as of recording this instant, I have not seen them, but curious to see what they got. Player first games, the few patches that they put out so far, they've done a lot of work so far. They've done a lot of work, really good changes. They're listening to what the community wants, so just curious to see what happens. Either way, that is going to be it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed the Multiversus news roundup for this week, and I guess I'll see you when I'm looking at you.